At WWDC 2020, which was held completely online, Apple announced new software including iOS 14, macOS 10.16 Big Sur, tvOS 14, watchOS 7, and iPadOS 14. Apple also announced Apple Silicon, their plan to use their own system-on-a-chips on their Macs. Software held at WWDC 2020, let's start with iOS 14. iOS 14 introduced many new ways on how iOS will work, look, and feel. iOS 14 changes a lot of things, but one of the biggest things it changes is the way your home screen looks. It still looks familiar, but now you can add big and small-sized widgets anywhere on your home screen. Another thing is the app library. The app library is almost like swiping up to the apps you have on an Android, except it's made for iOS. It shows all the apps you have grouped into different folders smartly based off of the apps they are. Another change to the UI is Siri. Siri now comes in a compact form, almost like a home button at the bottom of your screen. All her responses will show up as a notification at the top of your screen. Another big change on the way how iOS works is picture-in-picture. Now, if you're watching a YouTube video or something off Apple TV+, you can now swipe it down to reduce it to a picture-in-picture so you can do other tasks while watching that show. Changes have also come to the Messages app. Now you can mention someone, pin your chats, and even make a chat logo for your chat group. Now we all have apps on our iPhones, but a new thing is app clips. If you hold your iPhone near an NFC tag that opens an app clip, it will show up at the bottom half of your screen, allowing you to use an app clip. An app clip is a small application that lets you pay or do some other functions quickly so you don't have to install a full app. One of the more innovative features shown at WWDC was the ability to unlock your car with your phone. Simply load your car key into your wallet app on your phone, and then you can verify with Face ID by tapping it to your car, and then it will unlock it. You can also share this car key with friends over iMessage. Apple also announced a translation app similar to what Google has to offer with Google Translate. Another big feature that Craig Federighi did not go over at WWDC was the ability to set your own default browser and email apps. So now you don't have to use Apple Mail and Safari, and instead you can set it to other third-party apps such as Gmail and Google Chrome. Moving on to iPadOS 14. This new version of iPadOS has most of the same features as iOS 14, except a few exclusive ones to the iPad and its Apple Pencil. First one is handwriting. Now you can select handwriting and even convert it into text to put it in a Word document or something like that. With your Apple Pencil, you can also write into text spaces such as a search bar, and it will automatically be converted into text. Apple also announced a new compact search on their iPads, similar to what you'd find on a Mac with Spotlight Search. Time for TvOS and HomeKit improvements. tvOS 14 includes picture-in-picture just like iOS 14 and iPadOS 14, but also includes the ability to share audio with two sets of AirPods or a set of AirPods just to listen without using your TV's speakers. There's also a new control center which allows quick access to HomeKit devices. Time for watchOS 7 on the Apple Watch. watchOS 7 now lets you share your watch faces, so if you want to share a watch face you made just for someone, now you can do that. watchOS 7 also has the ability to see when you are hand washing, even if you don't set a timer. It will alert you if you stop hand washing before the timer is up. There are also a few more workouts, including dance and core exercises tracking. Moving on to the final OS upgrade of the day, macOS 10.16 Big Sur. macOS Big Sur comes with many new updates, but one of the most significant ones is the design. This is an example of how much change in the design has happened. These are the icons from macOS 10.15 Catalina. And these are the new icons for macOS 10.16 Big Sur. Huge change, right? These apps look more and feel more like iOS and iPadOS apps than ever before. More changes to macOS Big Sur include the dock, which is hovering just above the bottom, and the taskbar at the top, which is translucent now, as well as the app designs which have slightly curved edges. macOS 10.16 Big Sur also has a new notification center, including the same widgets we saw in iOS 14 and iPadOS 14. And in macOS 10.16 Big Sur, we also have a new control center. Safari on the Mac, iPhone, and iPad, we have the ability to translate web pages, and we also have a tracker that prevents trackers from tracking you across the web. Final thing that happened at Apple WWDC 2020 was the announcement to change from Intel to Apple Silicon, their system on a chip. The goal with Apple Silicon is to make Macs more powerful and also to keep them battery efficient. Here's an example of the Mac Pro ran at WWDC 2020, and it runs the A12Z Bionic chip. This is the same processor on the iPad Pro, and it was powerful enough to run full Final Cut Pro. Also, many more benefits to using Apple Silicon, their own chips. First, they can control the software and the hardware experience better because they're running their own chips, and they can also migrate some iPhone and iPad apps because they're running the same processor. Anyway, that was everything that happened at WWDC 2020 this year in about 7 minutes. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.